You know what? I'm feeling hype right now, so I'm just gonna hop right into the Jeff Molina and Aoriqileng fight because I've actually watched quite a bit on Jeff Molina because I really like the kid, and there's a few things that we're gonna talk about here. He won a couple awards at the Glory Gym. I'm just gonna quickly just make sure I don't butcher the exact awards he won, but he won Best Teammate Award and Breakout Professional in 2020. That's a pretty good gym to win those types of awards. That Laura Sanko is a part of that. Our boy Julian Marquez is a part of that. So James Krause's gym, all that kind of hype and things like that are the things that I personally really enjoy because those are his peers voting on him. Like, who cares what really think in the grand scheme of things? Like, I don't have to go to work with these guys on a regular basis as much as I would love to. But again, I think that's one of those things where I think it's very humbling in a way because it helps you realize that like there's more to it than just going in there and fighting. Like, I'm making a difference as a teammate, and you can tell in his interviews that he actually really appreciates those awards. So when we look into him as an actual fighter, I mean, poor guy had a rough battle with COVID. I think he had a really close first round in that Dana White Contender Series fight against Jacob Silva, right? I mean, let's talk about perseverance, cardio, resiliency, all those things. Check, check, check. He's got it. I think that in the time that he's been away, he's going to be able to kind of put together some of that, raw, intangible type of stuff that make you a champion and kind of add that skill, just that sheer hard work and pad work, things like that. Because I think that as he gets more accurate, generates more power, like we're going to be able to see, some really exciting type of fights out of him because, he has the gas tank. That's without question. And just the sheer will to win. That's what I really enjoyed about that Silva fight. He just kept going for it. Really good work in the clinch, was willing to throw knees. And, we think about his last loss. It was to Nate Smith in 2017, who ended up fighting on the LFA 100 card for the featherweight title or flyweight title, sorry, and lost the fight. So those little things that when you look at a kid like Jeff Molina, what he's accomplishing right now as a coach at the gym and as a teammate, now coming into the UFC to make a huge splash, I think that things are lining up for him. And now we get to talk about Aoriqileng. I mean, this is another Shanghai PI standout. There's a lot of, skepticism as to why he was one of the fighters that got picked in terms of the other kind of bigger names that some of us have come to know from that group of fighters that are trying to make their way over. And there was supposed to be a Dana White Contender Series event in Asia to kind of showcase all this talent that they're putting together. But unfortunately, because of COVID, that fell through. So some of these fighters that people are hoping to see in the UFC were actually scheduled to have performances on the Dana White Contender Series. So that's why we're kind of seeing, I guess, a certain crop of fighters coming over versus some of the guys that haven't really made it over yet. And, right now, Aoriqileng is one of those guys that's getting the opportunity, and against a guy like Jeff Molina that, as a fight fan, you can't help but just love and respect, everything that he's accomplishing just as a young kid, trying to make it up, coach, fighter, all that kind of fun stuff. So, I'm impressed by a lot of these fighters that are coming up, right? Because they're actually getting really good quality opponents. We just talked about how Liang's already fought, the Shakirovas and the Agapovas of the world. And, when we get into Aoriqileng, I think that one of the big things that we can sell him on is the Kai Kara France fight, right? I mean, he did lose it, but at the same time, when you have names on your record that, some people that can just hop on there, I mean, Kai Kara France is a potential title challenger at the 125 weight class in the UFC. And, these are the guys that are going to be able to sell because, when we just talked about Liang with the Maria Agapovas and the Shakirovas of the world, it's kind of similar here. That loss is going to speak volumes to some of the guys that follow the UFC. And so what I like from it is just the exciting aspect, right? A little bit more reckless than you would hope, but, probably one of the better clips that we've put together on the little video that we made of all three of these fighters that are coming in. But I was really impressed with that knee. I mean, it was so pride-like, right? Even the replay when they catch the angle of him just from the bottom there, throwing that big knee, the music that was playing. I mean, oh my God, I got such a pride moment there. And it's those things that make them so exciting, right? We're going to get into Batchery, but like, that knockout of Guido Canetti is a big reason why we're just so excited to watch these guys on the come up. But, when we're going into the Mongolian Predator, it's one of those things where I really, really, can't help but get excited. He's battle tested. He's hasn't fought in a year, but at the same time, I think in terms of guys that can maybe finish him, I think Molina's that, grinder style fighter. He's going to give you a look in absolutely everything. I think he can be good at absolutely everything right now and is improving to become the best at something, right? So that's where I really like this fight. I think it could be really, really grueling. Like I said, both guys are long. They're going to have really good opportunities to kind of throw these long, like quick type of knees. That's what makes it exciting. And like I said, if Molina's bringing in some more ingenuity in terms of his striking game, I think that's what's going to separate him. Like, fundamentally, clinch work. We saw some really good examples against Silva. So that's what makes me really excited for this fight. I think they're going to throw down. When we go quickly take a look at the odds, way closer than the last fight. This is basically a pick 'em across the board. Aoriqileng actually opened as a -120 versus a -110 favorite, and that has just gone 100% to a pick 'em fight. I think that Molina has a lot of skill to bring to this table. But again, when you think about some of the excitement and just the sheer knockout power that some of the Chinese fighters bring to the octagon, it's evident that they're getting the bump from Vegas and some of the fans as well. So that just makes it an exciting fight for us. So I can't wait for it.